You are listening to the Pencil and Paper Podcast Network. Visit pencilandpaperproductions.podbean.com to find more great podcasts.
Welcome to the Palace of Megapixels. This is Super Mega Crash Brothers Turbo!
Everyone, and welcome to Super Mega Crash Brothers Turbo. I'm your host, Stephen White. With me, as always, is my co-host, Lacey Findley.
Happy Tuesday, I think.
Yeah.
I think we're still naming the days and using numbers and stuff like that, right? Like
last I checked, yeah.
We've never switched anything over. Okay, cool. So happy Tuesday. How you doing today?
We are doing something a little different this week because of an embargo. We've never encountered anything like this before, and we wanted to respect the embargo.
Absolutely.
So we have a review later on in the show for a new game. We couldn't do it until the embargo lifted. It's lifted. We're here. So don't panic. It had nothing to do with
Gotta respect
Corona.
them embargoes, people. Respect them embargoes.
So hopefully you all got a notification yesterday letting you know, hey, it's just going to be a day late for no technical reasons, just embargoes. Right. Just embargoes.
Everybody's fine and safe. Yep.
We're all good.
Yep.
So
I mean, I guess, yeah.
yeah. If considering,
you know, all things considered, sure, yeah.
How is everything on your end?
Just hanging out. I'm in one of the places that we're not allowed to do anything or leave the house or anything. Well, we have like a curfew and stuff like that. So like 5 o'clock. And if you're caught with friends, you'll get a ticket and stuff like that. So just stay inside. So yeah. People are great. And it's been raining the last 2 days too. So it's just like you want to just sit by the window, just prop your head up, play sad music, just outside.
I want to be there.
Why you do this? I just want some nice weather so I can at least like sit in my backyard or something, make it feel like I'm traveling. Put on my daytime PJs and go outside, you see.
We've actually had a bout of rain early in the week, and then it finally warmed up and the sun came out for at least 2 days. Right now, it looks sunny, but you can kind of take a peek outside and there are clouds looming over. So I don't know what it's going to do today. It's warm already, so it's nice.
Well, good for you. We're supposed to be nice temperature-wise, but if it keeps raining all day, it's almost like, then why did you bother becoming 60 degrees? I can't enjoy it.
Yeah, I don't. Exactly.
I can sit on the front porch, I guess, so long as there's no wind. So the rain's not like swooping in, because that's the only thing that has a cover over it, but it's not big by any stretch of the imagination, so you'd have to just like try to sit smack in the middle and pray it's not windy while it's raining so you don't get wet. But it might be worth it. Screw it. Like, who cares, right?
Exactly.
Who cares?
Who cares?
Go stand in the rain on your front porch. It's not hard enough.
So you were saying that your state, I guess, is on lockdown. Is that correct? Or is it just the city? Okay.
No, we're on shelter in place. It's for the entire state. I'm sure Chicago is probably where they're looking at the most, since it's the most heavily congested area of the state. Most of the rest of the state's kind of spread apart. And as you have noticed probably in New York, unfortunately, the more congestion. They've definitely got more people packed into a smaller area than we do. Chicago's more spread out, which might shock some people who've never visited here. We're not like just a little bit of a downtown area. It's spread out over a 30 miles span. So just keeping an eye on it. We're getting extended our shelter in place and turning some stuff into hospitals and everything like that. I'm pretty confident with our leadership right now over the state. He's been lockstep with New York, and it seems like we'll just keep us safe and just stay home. So we're staying put.
I read yesterday we're still kind of in a, if you can stay home, stay home. If not, just be careful, be aware.
Having everyone use their best judgment.
I did read an article that doctors in Tennessee are trying to petition the governor to lock it down because I guess according to their numbers, if nothing is done by the 4th of April, somewhere between the 4th of April and the 9th of April, that they're going to run out of hospital beds. That's how
the struggle right now. Not to turn this into like a whole news hour, but that's the one thing that I think people are missing about the shelter in place that I'll just say real briefly, because this is for everyone's safety. I know everybody's probably heard it, right? Wash your hands, stay home, stay 6 feet distance, but that's the issue, is the hospital is getting overrun. So you might be this healthy 20-year-old who decided, I'm not going to stay home and go run around and get into a car accident. Now, where are you going to go if a hospital's overrun with COVID patients? This is why they're asking you to stay home, to not to help, or to not spread more, and to not overrun them. Because if you're going to force a doctor to choose between a young person who was just in a car accident, or maybe a mom, or maybe somebody who's elderly and has a lot of health problems, it's gonna trickle down to those of us who just need regular care. I know people whose schedules or surgeries have been rescheduled. All of my doctor's appointments and everything, even for my pinched nerve, have been rescheduled and moved. I can't even get my medications for it right now. And I'm small fry in comparison. So just think, if you have just little things that you need to go to the doctor for, all of that's on hold. So stay home if you can.
Yeah.
And don't do it even for you. Who cares about you? Do it for the doctors that are trying to save our lives. Yeah. They want to help you. They don't want to turn you away.
Yeah, I personally... I'm kind of in an odd spot where I honestly am arguing against my job staying open. They are trying to consider themselves essential, but we don't do anything directly to consumers. You know what I mean?
Right.
So to argue that we are essential is a little hard to swallow. Now, I am not arguing that I am still working and I'm still getting a paycheck. I'm grateful.
It's a double-edged sword right now, right?
Yeah, I am grateful. But I don't want to get sick. I don't want to be in contact with this. And I appreciate every step they're trying to take to keep us open. But if they shut down the state, they should really consider being like, hey, all right, we've got to just take the 2 weeks. The stimulus bill passed. Yeah. It's been signed, so everyone kind of has
about that one.
Yeah, it's hopefully we'll all have something we can kind of fall back on should the worst case scenario come around. All I know is that if it shows up at my job, I'm out. Yeah. I'm gone. I don't care if they don't like it. I'm not playing that game. You know what I mean? It's not worth it.
It's escalated rather fast, right? Like even whatever we were saying a week ago is not even relevant anymore. So just, I don't know, just listen to what your states are saying. And if you don't have to go out, don't, even if you're in a state that's not enforcing anything right now. And then hopefully all of the game developers have themselves adjusted now, because I've been seeing a lot of reports of everybody getting to start to work from home remotely. So yeah, things might get delayed, but this might be a good year for that. I mean, they're going to have time to work on it and get it done. And unfortunately, most of us will have time to play them. So,
and since you brought that up, since you brought that up, I actually got an email. And I don't know if you saw this or not, and it might be in the news. So I'm not trying to step on the quickets too early.
It's all good. It's all good, man. I can adjust on the fly.
I figured since we were already kind of touching on this, Square Enix has sent out a notice saying that physical copies of Final Fantasy VII Remake will probably get delayed. They're going to work to possibly make sure that doesn't happen. Yeah. But they're letting people know we can't guarantee that you won't not get your copy when you're supposed to physical copy.
And I think we were talking about that a little last week, where it was more specific to Amazon at that time. But now I have another friend in my community that I think ordered it through GameStop, and he just got an email, I think yesterday or the day before, that said the same thing. Like, so far it looks on track, but just keep in mind the physical copies might be delayed coming out. So I guess that's nice that they're giving you a heads up. That'll give you time, hopefully, to cancel that one and get the digital if that's something you want to play on day one. I understand with physical copies, though, you probably wanted it as a collector. Maybe it came with something fancy fun that you only got through that physical order. But if you want to play it day one, you might have to consider the digital copy this time around because of extenuating circumstances. But if you're okay with waiting, you're still going to get it. It just may not be on the day it releases. Yeah.
I think it would be kind of neat if they'd allow, give people codes if they would allow them. Say like,
that would be nice.
If you got one of the big collector's editions, like you were talking about with the statues and all the extra accoutrements. They say, if you want, we'll give you a digital code in place of your physical copy, but you'll still get all your other stuff. But if you want to play it now, you'll just forego your physical copy in place of this digital code. It's up to you.
You'll still get the bonuses. You just won't get the disc. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
I can see that.
So
that would be nice.
I think that would be a nice option if that's something you're really hell bent on. Like, if you can wait for the rest of the stuff, give them that option. Give them a code. I think that would be cool. But I'm not saying they have. I'm just saying.
Yeah, like, I don't know if that was offered. Yeah. That would be cool. This is speculation. This is something we'd like to see happen. They didn't say that. So keep an eye on your emails, guys. I think if you've pre-ordered anything at this point and it was supposed to arrive in maybe the coming month, there might be delays. Just keep that in mind. And there may not be. Yeah. Trust me, they want to get it in your hands too, man. So,
yeah, for sure. And I will say that this whole thing has disappointed me, because before it really got bad, I had a show that I was going to go to, and I was so excited because when I saw it, I was like, holy shit, I want to go see that. It was Bobcat Goldthwait.
Ooh, yeah.
And I didn't know he was still doing stand-up.
Neither did I.
Holy crap, dude. I'd love to see that. So I jumped on it, bought tickets, and then, of course, everything started getting worse. And before I knew it, they canceled it. And I was like, damn it.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping he'll come back at some point, but I was so disappointed.
With tours like that, it is probably kind of hard with the schedule, because they'll probably try to maintain the back half, assuming everything's fine by then for their tour dates, and then see what happens. Unfortunately, with things like that, it's probably just straight up canceled.
Yeah.
But
so, I mean, I understand. I was disappointed because I was really looking forward to seeing him, because I had just gotten off a kick of watching some of his old bits and things like that. And it was just like, oh,
so you were in the mood for it.
Yeah, I really was. And it was unexpected when I spotted his name. I was like, holy shit, yes.
Yeah, I had no idea he was still doing anything either.
So, what have you been playing?
I was stupid and started Slay the Spire again, because apparently my blood pressure was just too low. But I did get the heart finally. And I think that should be where I retire.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like, end on top. I was quite surprised when I finally got it working, and I thought, like, halfway up the second one that I had my block and everything just like balancing out so perfectly. I'm like, oh my God, this feels like this could be the one. This could be the one, And then sure enough, got through it, and I was like, okay. Had a nice little cut scene and a GG's, for that particular character that I beat the heart with. Now, technically, I think you're supposed to probably do it with all 4 characters, but I don't care. I did it once, and I'm going to feel pretty proud of myself at that point. So achievements be damned. I got through it once, and then I can just feel good about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I will. And then, of course, lots of the game that we will be talking about later on. And mostly just like working on little piddly stuff all week. I think it's been one of those things that's really strange once you hit like a certain point. Now, just keep in mind, guys, I've been kind of ahead of the curve. If we all remember, I was kind of homebound for about 4 weeks because of my back before we went on lockdown. So I might have started to hit my level, even for my level of introvert, of like not being able to go do any, like, even if it's just a walk at this point.
Yeah.
So it's been mostly like a lot of ADD projects Like, I found that it's become, oh, I'll start this, but I'm watching that, but I should be reading this, but I'm going to write this part for the podcast. Oh, I'm going to do this editing. And then, like, nothing gets done. It's like I've ran myself all day long, but never managed to focus on any one thing long enough to get it done. And then it's already bedtime and you're like, well, I guess try it tomorrow.
Yep.
So I have lots of things being started right now, and I need to just find the focus to like finish it. So games were a little bit more on the back burner this week outside of, for the review, and then torturing myself with Slay the Spire, and then decided to try a little 2 Point Hospital. Because why not?
Why not?
Why not live the world I'm in right now? But that was pretty much it. But we had fun. Just to put this out there, because like this was a happy coincidence that this worked out. But I have two people in my community, and their names are Adjective Beaver and Warrior Pussy. Sorry, that's her name. Deal with it. She's lovely. So I was naming my doctors and nurses after my community when I was streaming it that day. And okay, we had a Dr. Beaver with Nurse Pussy. And I'm sorry. That was the most amazing, happy accident that I did. And from here on out, every time I play the game, those two, their offices will always be next to each other. And now that's how they greet each other when they see each other in chat now. Dr. Beaver, Nurse Pussy, and it's the most amazing thing. Sorry. Just had to share that. It was a great story. It makes me laugh. And thank you guys for indulging me and allowing me to name you in my games, because that just worked out so perfectly, because I'm a child, okay? I'm a child, and it made me laugh, and I'm still laughing about it. Probably will for a little bit.
Nothing wrong with that. Brought a little
gotta
joy
do what you
in
gotta
your
do to stay a little sane, right? Just whatever makes it happen. But what about you? What have you been playing this week?
Well,
or have you even had time, because you're on the opposite spectrum of me right now?
Yeah, well, I've tried to put in a little bit more time with Kingdom Hearts 3. I've gotten, I don't remember where I was last time, or this time last week, but I feel like I've gotten into the game. Like, I'm kind of nearing the end, but I'm not quite there yet. I think I've probably got just a little bit more to go, but I'm getting there. I'm nearing the last half of the game. I am really impressed by certain things that they've done, because I know last week I was talking about the convoluted story, and it's still like they did something. The last thing I saw, I was like, Jesus Christ, I don't know what you're talking about, because it's just like, this guy's from Organization 13, but wait a minute, it's the real Organization 13, but who is this guy? Why is he here? Well, you see, what happened was that this guy that we knew, he left his heart on this island, and then this guy went and got him, and then they cloned his body, and then that guy's part of this organization, while the other guy's part of the real organization. I was like, my God, shut up! What are you talking about? It was just like, my head hurts. But beyond that, it seems like the game really does well when you're just honed in on the story within the world that you're in. Like, that's what's interesting, is seeing the characters interact with these Disney characters and whatnot. And the fact that they kind of stuck with a few characters from the older games and then brought in a bunch of new worlds, because I really think they wanted to see what they could do with characters from Toy Story and Frozen and, Tangled and stuff like that. I shouldn't have been surprised. But when I got to Arendelle for Frozen, and you bump into Elsa, and she's like, they start the story as if she's running away from the castle. She's running away from her, powers. And she's like, I just don't know what to do. And then you're chasing her through this world, trying to find out, trying to help her. And then suddenly the song begins. And you're like, are they going to do this? Are they going to go the entire way? She's saying,
they allowed?
Let it go, the entire song.
Oh, God.
The whole
I'm so
bit. Yeah, and
so
I was
sorry.
like, oh my God, they did it. They really went for it. So I shouldn't have been surprised, but I was just like, oh my God, here it is. There it goes. Let it go. So,
let it go.
there it was. I was also impressed. They went back to the Caribbean for the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Oh, okay.
And in the other games, we were limited to PlayStation 2 graphics, so they did what they could to make it look slightly different because this is supposed to be reality. This is supposed to be the real world. So now we have the graphical capabilities to be as real as we could. I feel like they could have taken it just a hair farther, but what they did was really impressive. Because the idea is that when Sora, Donald, and Goofy wind up in these worlds, they have to maintain the balance of the worlds. Like, no one can know that they don't belong there, even though Donald and Goofy clearly don't belong there.
What was the giveaway? But
yeah, you have to maintain some sense of balance. That well, we're from here, just not from here. So all the characters from the Pirates of the Caribbean movie looked as real as they possibly could, which was impressive. So Jack Sparrow looked like Johnny Depp, and Orlando Bloom's character, Will Turner, looked like him, and so on. So you're looking at that going, wow, that's really impressive. And then you wonder, how are they going to incorporate the other three and make them look like they did there? So they muted their colors. They gave Sora some more facial detail, I guess, like real skin textures and stuff like that. Donald and Goofy both had, Goofy had fur. His was harder to spot, but you could, if you looked close enough, you could see that what was supposed to be his dog hair was dog hair. And then you could actually see the feathers on Donald. So I was like, that's pretty good. At least that was an impressive way to really make them look real. So I was really impressed with that world. I'm in Big Hero 6 at the moment, and they just fit. The characters fit within that world. There's no changes that really need to work because it's a cartoon, so they just kind of work in there. So it's been really cool just seeing how they've incorporated all this. I don't know where this story ends, but there's a part of me that wants them to go to other worlds that Disney owns now. I want to see them do...
maybe in another 10 years.
Yeah. Oh, God, please don't do that. Maybe because I think a lot of people were hoping that they would incorporate the Avengers, which would be cool. Oh, yeah. Or Star Wars, which would be cool, since they incorporated a lot of Pixar stuff in this. So, I would be cool with it.
Or maybe
DLC,
a DLC,
baby.
Yeah,
I would love to see something like that, but I don't think it's going to happen this time around. But it would be cool since they've shown that they can do it. Let's see what that would be. I would love to see what they could do with that. But even with the Marvel stuff, you could flip it on its head just a little bit. And instead of making it the movies, why not shift it and turn it into maybe like a cartoon? And then that way you can play with the graphical capabilities as opposed to trying to make it look realistic, make it look like a cartoon. And then you can, redesign the characters in a way that they kind of fit within that world. I think that would be kind of neat. But
yeah.
We'll see. I don't know.
If they only would listen to us, man.
I know.
Good ideas.
The DLC alone, they could say $40 for DLC for these worlds.
People will be mad.
But they'd pay it. They would. I think
totally
I would. But yeah, I've been playing
Here's my money
that.
and screw you for taking it,
But I played that mostly, but I did decide I still need to play that Resident Evil demo.
Oh, yeah, I did play that. I forgot. I did play that.
Yeah, I haven't.
It's all the same anymore, you guys.
I know.
It's all the same. Oh, yeah, I did play that. It's good. You'd like it.
Good. Yeah, Todd had told me about it, and he's been pestering me to play it, and I've been like, I got to get around to it. It didn't take
long. I think for you, maybe an hour, because you might take your time to enjoy it, but it's not it's not the one shot like they did with 2. Like, you can take your time.
And I feel like it wouldn't take much of my time. I just don't know why I'm not gravitating toward it. Every time I look at it, I'm just like, get around to it. Get around to it.
I think you'd like it, though. It looks great. I mean, we expected nothing less, of course, after how well they did on 2. But, I mean, it looks great.
I think I'll get there. But I did play around with Spawn on Mortal Kombat just because I wanted to see what that was. And I misquoted that line that he said to Joker. last week because I knew I did.
Did you get like flamed, or did you get emails like, "God damn you"?
Oh, of course not. No one emails us.
We don't even get them angry enough to yell at us.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the quote was Joker starts looking at him and says something along the lines of, "Ooh, who are you?" and says he's going to do something to him. And then Spawn looks at him and says, "I'm going to flip you inside ass first, clown." And I was like, there we go. That's it.
All right, then.
Yeah. So it's pretty brutal.
I had to think about that for a second. Inside. Yes.
Yeah. That seems like that would hurt.
Yeah, it would.
But
I'd leave him alone. I'll go over there
but
now.
he plays awesome. He controls awesome. So I heard someone wanted on the internet to nerf him, which I disagree.
Why?
I think he's a great character.
Is this where I'm supposed to say get good?
I think that's what it is because I've heard that fighting him from the PC or from the CPU side, he will demolish you because he's got a great combo move set that if he gets his hands on you, he will obliterate you in a matter of minutes.
Don't let him do that.
Seconds.
Got a bob.
I shouldn't say minutes. Seconds.
Right.
But I didn't figure that out. But I did whip some ass with Spawn, so I was pretty happy. So he's
ass
pretty
side
fun
out, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have no idea what you said already. I've already got the turn of phrase screwed up in my head.
Yeah. But that's been my week.
Good.
I'm falling behind on the animation, which I'm disappointed in.
Well,
but I'll get there.
Extenuating circumstances, I think, right now, guys. So hopefully you are understanding as to why it seems like, everything's a little bit on hold right now. All of us are figuring our new normal footing for the moment. So we know you'll get it done. I have faith you will. We've just got to get over this hump right here, All
right. Yep.
But, yeah. So a little bit of news, I guess, this week. Kids still with everything still trying to click along. Figured we'd start with a happier note. Nintendo had their mini direct this week, as most people might know. So we got a couple of first looks at some new things that are coming to the Switch, and a lot of them that released the day of the direct. I love how they do that. We're like, here's this cool game. Guess what? You can get it now. And that's it's just a really cool feeling. So GG to those who have a Switch. I've never felt left out until this Animal Crossing. I don't know why I have FOMO so bad. But it is what it is. But we got to look at Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, which ended with a release date of May 29th, 2020. I don't have anything to really compare this game to. I never played the other ones.
Let me tell you, the game is amazing. This was a game when it initially released on the Wii. There was not a localization to the States. So we actually had to get a copy from the EU, and you could only get it at GameStop. Now, I started playing it, I think, through GameFly is where I started renting it through. Yeah. And I played it for a while, and I was so into it that at some point I was like, I just need to buy this game. But there was no, for whatever reason, and it was probably because it was a very rare commodity in the States, I couldn't buy it through GameFly because, they had that option. If you like it, you can keep it.
Just keep it,
Yeah,
if you
I
had
couldn't do that.
I know. Just not send it back. I mean, you'll charge me for it regardless. So done. I'll be that garbage person.
But I wanted my case. I wanted all that. So I was like, I got to find out where it's at. So I looked around, couldn't find it, and then I went to GameStop, and then obviously they had it. And so I was like, I'm just buying this. I'm going to go ahead and get it because I spent, I think this is the very first time I noticed that I had spent 100 hours on a game.
Ooh, yeah.
And I
Good
was
reason
just
to buy then.
Yeah, it's a long game, but you'll get into it. The music, oh my God. I know I've mentioned this on previous
episodes. For watching
episodes.
The trailer and stuff, it looks really good.
I know I've mentioned this before on previous episodes. I think we did a deep dive on Xenoblade a long time ago. I can't remember. I feel like we did. But then in our music episode, or our music appreciation episode, I know that was one of the ones that I mentioned because when I stepped out on the battlefield for the first time, you're actually going into the world because you start in a city and then you're ready to explore. The music builds. And you just get into it. And then the moment I started hearing this music, I was like entranced by it. And I didn't want to go anywhere else. I just wanted to stay in this field and listen to the music.
Hey,
I loved it so much. And then you would think that it would just be that one bit. But then every level you go to, every new area you go to, the music just gets better and better. And then they have cycles for the music. Night and day, it's the same tune, but mellowed at night to give you a night feel. So, and
very
that's
smart.
Just
Yeah.
icing on the cake, man. It's great.
Those
so I'm
little
looking forward to
details
this.
like that. Yeah, I mean, it looks great. At least we have a release date right now. And it also looks like you'll get a epilogue to the original.
Yeah.
Which was mentioned on there, so you get a nice upgrade, a new story, and with some pre-purchases, it looks like you can get a 250-page art book as a collectible if collecting is your thing. 2K also had some announcements coming to the Switch that you're going to get the BioShock collection, Borderlands Legendary Edition, and XCOM 2 collection, also coming on May 29th. So. We got a look at Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Black Order expansion pass. It gave us a look at Doom and a little teeny bit of gameplay from that. We also saw a game called Into the Depths, which announced it will release on the day of that day. So it was on March 26th. So that's one that you could get now, or if you're already playing it. Looks like a little side scroller ocean exploration game. It looked kind of neat. I would need to go look at that one a little bit more. I don't have a Switch, but I just like to torture myself at this point. Why not? It's a new hobby of mine. And they already are doing a free update for Animal Crossing, it looked like, too. So downloading that free update came within the game. It gives you access to a Bunny Day event, which gives you the ability to celebrate Easter, it looks like, in the game. You can craft special items, hunt down eggs. The event will be from April 1st through the 12th. So, and then there's supposed to be another one, free update later on in the month of April. So they say follow their Twitter account so you can get the details when that drops.
I want to mention something about that update because it was hilarious. Before this update, there was a glitch in the game, and some of our listeners may have heard about it, but I spotted it, so I sent it to Katrina, and then, of course, she sent it to all of anybody else she knew that it played the game, where you could duplicate money, and so they became like millionaires within minutes.
Breaking the currency.
Yeah. And
or
then
the economy in the game. Nice.
as soon as all this stuff came through, they're just like, yeah, we're patching that. So I was like, well,
yeah.
kiss it goodbye.
That's an exploit that wasn't supposed. Yeah, especially if it's online multiplayer, they're going to nip that. That could get you banned too, just as a FYI, if they find out you're using an exploit. And Nintendo don't play. Nintendo don't play. We don't care if you have an audience of one. You are not ripping off their stuff. All right. Let's see. Good Job was another game they announced that released the day on Mini Direct. The game looked kind of cute, actually. It was like a mini work simulation game with a bubble stick figure artwork for the people. You work for your dad's company as hiring and offering like a wide variety of services, job responsibilities, delivering items, mopping floors, operating cranes, so on, but like in this really kind of cartoony, over-the-top environment. It looks like you can go full-on chaos or just do it the way it's supposed to, so that looks like it could be fun. Catherine Full Body will be moving to the Switch on July 7th. That game seems like it's been out forever, and I guess it has such a great following because I always see it getting updated to go to whatever the new console is. So
it was
if
one of those
you bought
games,
it 6 times already, now you can buy it a 7th if you like.
Yeah, it was one of those games I stumbled upon. I think it was on the PlayStation 3, and I don't remember why I took the gamble on it. You know, I looked at it.
You probably had somebody talk it up because that's how we ended up trying
Yeah.
it out, you know, because
I remember looking at it and thinking it seems interesting. Like something about it was just intriguing to me. And then I started looking into certain reviews and things like that. And it says really just kind of an oddball game.
Yeah. Oh, it is really odd.
Because
but it
the
was
way
fun.
the way they described it, it was just really interesting. So I was like, you know what? And I think it was on sale. So I was like,
I think we just borrowed it from a buddy, honestly. I don't even think we bought it, so I don't think we own it, but we played through it.
Yeah.
It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it was a surprise purchase. It was one of those I was really glad that I stumbled upon, and I love it. And I have purchased the full body version because it was on sale some time ago, but I've yet to download it because I'm saving it for when I get my internet because I want to see how fast.
Whatever that may be. Yeah. That's
well, you know what?
Be longer from now too.
They dropped a line, so someone just needs to come up and hook it in. That's it. They dropped a line. I'm ready. Hook it in.
Let's go. Get over there, people. Go, go, go. Get him his fiber.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Ring Fit also got an update, a new rhythm game mode, 17 music tracks featuring music from Legend of Zelda, Mario, and Ring. Your companion is getting a female voice option. So if that was something you were wanting, there you go. There's also a new jogging option for custom and quick play mode. So definitely keeping you fit while you might be stuck at home. Super Smash Brothers Ultimate News. The new challenger is a character from ARMS.
Oh, I thought it was going to be a new Breath of Fire.
If you remember the
character.
game with the robots that fight each other and their arms get like super long. I think it was a launch title, maybe even with the Switch. So yeah, that. So you get that. If you had Nintendo Online members, you can play ARMS for free as part of a bonus thing for March 26th through April 6th. So there you go. If you're like, I don't know what she's talking about and I'm getting that character, there you go. Go play that game for free and then you'll know that's what's going to be in your game. There also looked like they had some tabletop games coming. Looked like Clubhouse Games 51, so Mahjong and air hockey, Chinese checkers, Connect 4, all sorts of stuff. Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy is coming to the Switch on March 27th. Looks like a fun little version.
I had to dig in my head a little bit. This game, I have a sliver of a memory of this game. Like, I don't think I ever owned it. But for some reason, in the back of my head, because the more I looked at it, I was like, I know I've played this game. I think it was like a demo long ago when it released on PC. And
as many times as they've like started a Star Wars, canceled a Star Wars.
Yeah, it was like a demo or something like that I downloaded and I played on PC briefly because that's what it was for. And my options to create whatever I had were very limited. So you could create your character, you could create your lightsaber and stuff like that. And I was just like, man, I want to play this game in full, man. So now I have the option, I see.
There you go.
So I might have to get it.
And now you can also play ARMS.
Woo.
Looks like, let's see, Trials of Mana Fuser. It looks like a rhythm game that you play a DJ. The Elder Scrolls Blade, Warhammer 40,000, Vigor, which is in closed beta through April 9th, or starts April 9th. Burnout Paradise Remastered, Saints 4 Reelected. A whole mess of other stuff is coming to the Switch. And then they ended with the news of Pokemon Sword and Shield Expansion Pass. A little bit more detail into that for you. Part 1 for the Isle of Armor, where there's a dojo for trainers to master their skills and collect Pokemon Kung Fu. Which apparently is a new one. And then you can challenge the Tower of Two Fists. You can enter the Tower of Darkness or of Waters, depending on which game that you have. So definitely a nice little look into that. I'm probably using the wrong terminology because I don't poke them on.
Poke them on?
Yeah. As soon as I said it, I made a face, guys. I'm like, I didn't like how that came out. But both are expected to launch at the end of June. And a little bit of RE3 release date and pre-order bonuses. So as most people have been playing the demo, RE3 has announced it will be releasing on April 3rd. Capcom showed off more gameplay on a Twitch stream last week. So if you wanted to get a little bit more in-depth outside of the demo, they gave it to you. We also know that the new Jill Valentine trailer also dropped. You also the free pre-order bonuses that you can get if you so choose to pre-order Resident Evil 3 before the release date. You can receive an exclusive classic costume pack that includes Jill's OG outfit and Carlos's OG hairstyle. If you never played the original, Best Buy is offering an exclusive pre-order bonus of its own. You can get a metal steelbook case featuring RE3 artwork on the outside and inside of the box, and this comes with any purchase of the physical edition for PS4 or Xbox One. Standard edition, obviously you get the game. It looks like all of them are coming with Resident Evil Resistance as well. And then you get all the other pre-order bonuses that retails at $60. Let's see. If you pre-order at GameStop, only in North America though, you get the copy of the game, obviously Resistance. Jill Valentine's statue. So if you were looking at collecting some of those, which is close to the Leon one that they released for 2, a hardcover art book, double-sided poster featuring a map of Raccoon City, and the soundtrack for RE3. And that's a $280 value. But if you're UK, you can pre-order at whatever is called Game for you guys, all caps, for £215. So I didn't forget you UK people. I even got it in your currency. Also, keep in mind that Capcom is warning players again. Physical copies may be delayed for that April 3rd date. So just have to keep throwing that out there. It will release. You can get digital. But if you're pre-ordering this stuff, just keep a calm head. They're trying to get it out to you. But this one was the most interesting bit of news that I thought this week. Epic launched its own publishing label, which I had fun reading through how people were responding to this. So Epic announced its launch of their publishing division, which is exactly that. They're funding their own projects. So to start it off, what they have lined up is 3 different developers. Remedy Entertainment, which is most recently known for Control. So they have 2 that will be coming out of Epic. It looks like 1 AAA and then maybe 1 smaller one. Play Dead, which is the team who made Limbo and Inside. And Gen Design, which is a studio which most recently launched The Last Guardian. So since Epic has been touting that more developer friendly in terms of monetary compensation for selling on their storefront, they're also cutting this publishing deal. I don't know how they'll turn it down. And actually, when I was talking to some indie teams, screw what players are saying right now. That wasn't my concern. Like, they're going to be pissed regardless if they have to, go to Epic if you're on one side of the fence or not. But listen to this deal. So the developers retain 100% of all intellectual property and full creative control of their work. This is black and white on their site. Epic Publishing will cover up to 100% of development cost, from developer salaries to go-to-market expenses such as QA, localization, marketing, publishing costs that come along with that. And developers earn a fair share for their work. Once costs are recouped, developers earn at least 50% of all profits. Most developers that I were talking to, that like, if you ever were to find a deal like this from a publisher out in the wild, you'd kind of almost be stupid not to take it. Like, this is an insanely good deal that they're going to cover all that and let you still have full control over what you're doing. F&A, right? So as a rep from Epic stated that, they have all of that. They mentioned that these games won't necessarily be Epic exclusive to their own store also, which I thought was the interesting part there. I thought for sure it was always going to be right on the Epic store, considering how they've been doing business, right?
Sure.
But they want to have a new multi-platform publishing effort with a development-first approach, is what the rep said. So we will see what games are coming out in the coming months. But those are the 3 developing teams that have already signed on and are taking this deal. I'm sure we're going to see more. So players, be okay with downloading from Epic. I hate to tell you, like, I know, and everybody has their own personal reason as to why maybe they don't like Tencent or this, that, or the other. Like, I understand all reasons are valid, but I think you're going to see a lot of teams taking this deal. And as an indie perspective, I almost can't blame them. I almost can't blame them at all.
I mean, who's looking out for the indie teams anymore? I mean, big publishers don't care. They want to make their profit, and that's that. If they can get a deal like this, I'm like you. They're stupid not to. I mean, why?
I can't blame them. I mean, especially as a smaller team, like, the funding is like the hardest part for them to come up with. I mean, look at Cuphead, for crying out loud. They were going to go under. That amazing game. We would have not had it had it not been for someone else stepping in. So, I mean, it's really hard to get funding for these sorts of things. So, I mean, I've yet to really hear an indie team who's tried to work with them say anything awful about them, And I just like to support indie. I don't really have any hard feelings about Epic one way or the other. So I just want to support my people. And if this gets them making better games, bigger games, actually seeing it through to the end, like maybe not having to take shortcuts on anything or cut out bits of the story because you just ran out of funding, I'm all for it. Sure. So if you're an indie team too that was looking at this, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I talked to I know about 3 or 4 that I'm close enough with that I can ask these questions, but that's a small focus group, right? So let me know what you think of this deal. I would be really curious. Is there anything that you've read there from an indie perspective that is a red flag? Like, maybe I'm not seeing it because I'm not in your perspective. I don't create these games. I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to hear from you. But outside of that, hackers be hacking, yo, it appears. AMD has confirmed that a hacker has obtained source files for some of its current and future GPUs, including details about the Xbox Series X.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems they were contacted about this actually in December of 2019, which was posted online, but has, of course, since been taken down. AMD has been filing takedown notices to GitHub, which Microsoft owns, interestingly enough, where the stolen code was being hosted. The details of which included basically AMD's Navi 10, the Navi 21, our GPUs, all these new ones that they're creating for these consoles. The takedown notices say it has intellectual property, all of which were stolen. Arden is probably the code name for the Xbox Series X, which is the theory there. But the hacker replied to Torrent Freak, believe it or not, in an interview saying they'll just leak everything if they aren't able to simply sell off the info. So they're really good people, these hackers even. They're just you're not going to, we'll just leak everything then. So I have no idea if it's partial or the whole code, to be fair. But a rep at AMD said, while we're aware the perpetrator has additional files that have not been made public, we believe the stolen graphics IP is not core to the competitiveness or security of our graphics products. We are not aware of the perpetrator possessing any other AMD IP at this time. So I think they're just trying to say like, yeah, they got stuff. We don't think it's the important stuff. But yeah, I found that interesting. Like Xbox, Microsoft owned GitHub. Like, why is that? Why was that up? How did that go for so long? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to pay attention to, but like, the irony of that statement was just like, wait a minute. And maybe the hacker thought of that too. You know what would be funny? Where I host it, this would be hilarious. Just watch this. Hold my beer. Stop stealing stuff, people. Good
No
God.
kidding.
I know we're all bored, stuck at home. For crying out loud. Plague Inc. Plague Inc. is back, but in a these poor developers. Like, they're just like, we created a thing so long ago, and every time something happens like this. But Plague Inc. dev are said to be adding a new game mode that lets you actually stop the outbreak. So with the recent rise again, of course, for Plague Inc. due to world events around us, Endemic Creations, who is also, by the way, donated $250,000 to help fund COVID-19 relief, are now adding a new mode to stop the outbreak. Because the whole point of the game was to kill everybody in the world with a virus. That was the game. Now they're like, hey, maybe we'll give you a way to like not kill everyone in the world. So, but a rep from Endemic said, 8 years ago, I never imagined the real world would come to resemble a game of Plague Inc. or that so many players would be using Plague Inc. to help them get through an actual pandemic. This is from James Vaughn, Plague Inc.'s creator, and also co-founder of Endemic. The new mode came out of a donation discussion amongst the dev teams, WHO, the World Health Organization, and the Coalition of Epidemic Preparedness Innovations. The players will now balance disease progression, healthcare systems, and the public's response. Yeah. How you react. Your peeps now should social distance. This will be a free update for the duration of the pandemic, and no word yet on when that launches, because they are also working from home. But I think this is interesting. Like, not their fault at all, right? They just came up with the game like 8 years ago, but enough like they feel a little bit of personal responsibility. And I just could be speculating here from just how I'm reading it, that so many people for some reason are trying to look to this game for it, that they're trying to do all they can to give you the right information. And I like that they're going to use that platform. Probably had no idea that that was where they were going to be put at. But thank you, Endemic. Yeah. Like, you know, trying to make the best out of the situation that you were getting thrown into, that you had no reason to get thrown into, really. Right. But thank you for the donation and doing what you can to try to keep everyone's heads on straight, even a little bit in a panicky time. So,
yeah, it's a case of life imitates art, imitates life.
Yeah.
You know.
So I like that they're trying to at least fine. If you're coming to this platform, let's try to use it for the right way. And I thank you for it. Can we please get rid of the little singing kids, though? Because for the love of God, like I know it's supposed to be cute, but I can't take it anymore. All right. I'm not even playing it. I just hear it when my husband does it every time. Um, and speaking of going up against Nintendo a little bit, how we did. I don't know why people are still trying to do this, but Nintendo shut down a Kickstarter campaign here this last week called the New Adventures Passport Travel Holder, which was described as a cute animal pattern cover for your new adventure crossing the horizons. The campaign was they're like these little covers for your phones. It's a bunch of merch. 100% ripping off Animal Crossing. 100%.
Sure.
The campaign was aiming for £1,000, so all of this was over the pond, and was quickly shut down, of course, as it was a blatant ripoff. So when it was shut down, apparently it had already met £34,000 in support. Jesus Christ. Like, I feel like you could have spent that money on the real stuff. But if you take a peek at the designs, again, like I said, didn't try to hide the fact that it was doing anything but ripping off Animal Crossing. But if you go to the page now, you're met with a message. New Adventures Passport Travel Holder is the subject of an intellectual property dispute and is currently unavailable. If you're interested in this project, please check it back again later. Thank you for your patience. Oh, yeah. So you're thinking, like, later you're going to get it, eh? Is that what you're, like, we're going to work through this and then Nintendo's going to be like, oh, okay. And then you can, like, sell it?
Nintendo is not going to allow that at all.
It should have just been like, we effed up. Sorry, here's your money back. That's all the message should have said. We got found out. We got
the only way I can see this even coming to fruition is if they can cut some deal with Nintendo, like a licensing deal, to sell it with their stamp of approval, and they get a cut. Other than
they'll
that,
be like, we'll just take this design since we created it.
But they're not going to do that.
Oh, no, they're not going to do that. But you can also find the DMCA online giving a breakdown of the situation as it sits, if that's something you enjoy reading. I mean, Nintendo even got a picture of Mario taken off of Sony's Dreams Creation thumbnail thing. Sony!
Believe it. Yeah.
Who are you to think you're going to sell their merch? But I don't know, whatever. Like, people be doing stupid stuff.
Are they going to try to take down the Mario games on Dreams? I mean, you can't do that. People can make whatever they want.
But see, what they would, because it was on like an advertising thing.
Yeah,
so
but
that's why
I just
Nintendo's
mean
like, look, I know people created it, and Sony probably didn't at all. But like, they're like, you're not even allowed to use it for marketing. Don't even tell people you can make Mario. They can, but don't tell them.
Yeah,
I don't know. But another bit of Nintendo news: repair centers are also currently on hiatus. So if you have a drifting Joy-Con, we're sorry. Just have to wait a bit longer. And now I've just got a few quickets here.
Okay.
GameStop closes 300 stores. Apparently, it's not virus related, as the article read, to de-densify the amount of stores. This was on an earnings call, which also made a comment about the PS5, Xbox Series X delay. It was probably like a shareholder going, did we hear if it's delayed? Because everyone keeps saying, no, right now it's still not. But we're probably waiting to hear. So to de-densify, I mean, there was a crap ton of stores. I can remember being in like malls, and there would be like 2 in that mall if it was large or something like that. So they might have been closing some already. Maybe 300.
Maybe Reggie's cleaning house.
But he's not started yet, right? I thought it wasn't until April. I know March feels like it's been 10 years, but it's still March.
That's true. Okay.
I feel like March won't ever end, but
maybe they're trying to.
Month.
Maybe they're trying to clean house before he gets there, because it's like, you don't know what he's gonna do, man.
Right? We're all gonna be digital here. It's gonna come in. I don't know. I think he's just gonna sip coffee in the office room. Is all I think. Is that what they call them, office rooms?
He's gonna sit back and watch the GameStop burn.
This is
This is
fine.
a gig, baby.
I'm retired. I got nothing else to do. Burn, baby, burn. But yeah, so supposedly it has nothing to do with that. So if it's near you and maybe you were going to pick up your pre-order from GameStop, maybe make sure first that it's the one that's going to stay open. If it even is open where you live. Epic's Game Store has World War Z for free through April 2nd. Go pick it up. It's yours to keep forever. You also can get Figment and Tormentor X Punisher. I'm probably saying that wrong, but all free through April 2nd. Yours to keep forever. Also, you probably noticed if you were in Europe, PlayStation users, your download speeds have probably been a little slower than you're used to. Sony has been trying to announce that there are some limits to the infrastructure during the influx of users, of course, at this time. So, I mean, we've even been seeing that with like Netflix, Apple, Disney, any kind of streaming service. Steam, for the love of God, has also been getting an influx of users. So, yeah. Sorry about it. They're trying to get it all together. Sony says they're working with European IPs to manage the traffic. So if you were like, God damn it, why is this game taking 20 years? That's why. There's just a lot of people trying to download at the same time, and Sony's on it. Good luck finding a Nintendo Switch. It's basically sold out everywhere. Which means you could be paying higher prices if you do find one. Please don't contribute to the garbage people who are buying these to turn it around and sell it on eBay. If you have FU money, I guess fine, but I hate when we reward this behavior for people buying things up so they can sell it knowing it's a hot commodity. But Nintendo is selling refurbished Switches for $260 while supplies last. Of course, there is a catch. These are launch models. So the battery life, they say, may not be as good as, like, say, the next ones that came out after launch. The drift problem might still be a thing. Maybe they fixed it, hopefully, if it's refurbed. I don't know. But you still can find the Switch Lite. So if you're okay with just not docking it to the TV, that apparently is still available. At least when I wrote this yesterday. I don't know what today brings. Everything changes in like 6 hours now, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Fallout 76 Wastelander update obviously is delayed, but Bethesda has moved their team to remotely work from home, so it's still coming. It's just going to be late. Riot Games is trying to get a little goodwill, it looks like. They donated $1.5 million to coronavirus relief. So apparently there was like a little breakdown.
Just saying.
Thrown in like a women's shelter in there, but they donated like $400,000 to like food banks and $200,000 to the mayor's funds for the relief in LA and blah blah. If you care to see the breakdown, they do have it where all the money went, because it looks like each owner of it donated half of this and half of that to different places. But they also reported to help acquiring some critical PPEs for some LA hospitals. So good job on doing that. Outer Wilds is coming to Steam on June 18th. That was the one that was an Epic / Microsoft exclusive, like Xbox exclusive. So that's coming to Steam on June 18th if you were waiting for that. And then this one that I'm going to yell about because I think I'm over it.
Okay.
So a freaking email was leaked this week that Ash Williams from the Evil Dead franchise, or Army of Darkness, specifically, will be arriving in the Mortal Kombat 11 as a DLC fighter, and I am pissed. Bruce denied it, and I trusted him. Yeah, semantics, Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, F you. Okay, man, it's still Ash Williams, same character, and I need you to quit playing games with my heart. I'm not buying the game now. I'm like, now I just need to refuse it. I'm not doing it. You're playing games with me.
Keep in mind that they could release that character, but he may not do the voice because we've already seen a likeness of Arnold Schwarzenegger that does not have Arnold's voice, and I felt like this was the biggest travesty. Poker Night 2, a game from, I can't even remember who published that, Telltale maybe, long ago, that had Claptrap from Borderlands, had, I can't remember the character's name, he's from Venture Brothers, and then Ash Williams was one of the poker players, but it was not voiced by Bruce, and I was like, you have the character.
Unfortunately, those two things have to go hand in hand for me.
Yeah. That to me was just like, why would you even use this character if you're not going to get Bruce to voice him?
Then maybe he was saying he wasn't voicing it, but he was very vague on purpose then. Because I remember the picture. It was from Groovy Bruce. Checkmark, baby. That's your account and your Instagram. You said no. And I believe you.
But I feel.
And you're going to tell me we didn't say Evil Dead and it was Army of Darkness. It's the same thing. It's the same character. It's the third movie in this. You told me it was a sequel. Are you saying it's not now?
But Army of Darkness, that would actually make more sense. Because in that one, he did time travel. And Mortal Kombat is about time travel. So, But
it's still Ash Williams. You can't play these semantics with me.
I know,
It's still
I know.
Ash.
And
he's
the
a different
design,
Ash from like Evil Dead to Evil Dead 2 to Army of Darkness. Like the style definitely changed in how they approached the movie, but it's still the same character.
I'm just saying the character design is different than all the other iterations. So
fine, sure, whatever. Yeah, sure.
But
I'm over it.
But
it's
like
getting
you said,
old. Is he in it or is he not? I just tell me already.
But like you said, it's a leak. We have no proof.
But people have been digging through the source files, I feel like, forever now, and we keep getting these little leaks. And so I think maybe just screw you. I don't care. I'm never reporting on it. I'm never going to, if it came or if it didn't, I'm never going to say anything now.
I just wish they would go ahead and announce whatever they have to announce, because there were more to that, because when that came out, they reconfirmed Fujin and Shiva, which were two characters on that original 9 that never showed up.
Just messing with us.
And then there was an additional one, I don't know if you saw this, that was labeled Rob, R-O-B, and people were just like, RoboCop? That's wild speculation.
That's some mental gymnastics there to get to that. Yeah. But we be speculating regardless, I guess. So I don't know. This is the first time I felt kind of mad at the whole situation of something like that. And you know what, Bruce? I love you. And this is how we became exes. You're just not truthful, and it hurts.
We'll see.
Anywho, so there you go. That was the newest rumor but I guess the reason why they said this one looks true, because some of them on the list actually has come out or whatever. So, and it had trademark blah, 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 blah on it. So whatever. So he may or may not still be coming to Metal Gear, Mortal Kombat 11. I got nothing more to say with that.
It's fine.
Kind of going back and forth on it. But I did find some truth or trash for you this week.
Woo! All right.
I still forget to bring up my truth or trash tally. It takes like 2 seconds. See, there it's open. But all right. So, and I'm sure you've probably heard these rumors already flying around, probably a little bit this week. But Sony is cutting a deal right now to acquire Metal Gear, Castlevania, and all of the previous Silent Hill IPs. But Kojima would still be involved while also taking back the Metal Gear role. But adding to that, I know people were saying, it's the 1999 Silent Hills director signed on, so we're totally doing the new Silent Hills. But he is signed on, and they will be filming in 2021. But it's not the Silent Hills that we think it is. I'm saying, do you think that Sony is buying Metal Gear, Castlevania, and all the IPs and is planning to use Keiichiro Toyama to film their next game in 2021?
It's a
I know this is one we've been on about for a while, too, back and forth.
I mean, for Konami to give those up at a price, they would have to find no value in them whatsoever. Now, I know that the last Metal Gear game that they produced, Metal Gear Survive, was a complete and utter disaster. Castlevania, I feel, could still be bringing them some money because they've got that animated series going on right now. So there's a renewed popularity in the series. But when was the last time they actually made a game based on Castlevania?
Yeah.
What was the other one? Castlevania? Silent Hills.
All of the Silent Hill IPs from here on out, they would be selling those games. Not making a new one.
And they haven't made a Silent Hill game in forever. So if Konami does not see value in these IP anymore, then absolutely. And considering they have not done much with them,
might be willing to take a paycheck.
then I might say true.
All right, we got a true. And I think with this one, we'll be able to put it to bed very soon. Because I still see a lot of stuff circulating about that one. So that'll be interesting to see. Especially with all the different people now that you see getting kind of melded together here. See one giant buyout gaming industry like you do with everything else.
If Sony has, like, if they put their top tier programmers and developers on those IP, we will be getting some fantastic games from those series.
Agreed.
The idea of it excites me to no end. So I hope it's true. I really do. And
I think it would be a good step for that game, that series. Yeah.
Since they just, roped Kojima in with Death Stranding, they could rope him back into that Silent Hills game.
That's why I think there might be some credibility to it. But we love to throw speculations around and all this kind of stuff. So, like, I had another part in there that was confirmed to me yesterday, so I didn't bother to put that out. Okay. So, we'll see. Like, I don't 100% know about one of them, but the other one I think I know.
Okay.
And we also have a little weird news,
right,
which I haven't had about. Well, rather fun news, because in this day and age, I don't know if we can consider anything weird anymore. Life is just weird. Sure. But this is fun. So if you're looking for something to pick up your day, so maybe I should put something lighthearted, content friendly for you to watch at home. So since sports is no longer a thing at the moment, while a good portion of the world's population is hunkered down, one soccer announcer was feeling a little lost in his routine and decided to try sports announcing something a little bit different. I can't pronounce the names right. I'm sorry. Don't hate me. Kosuke Hirwayawa. Oh, I'm so sorry. Person. I'm so sorry. I'm sure you're lovely. A former announcer for Asahi Broadcasting Group in Japan decided to commentate over Animal Crossing New Horizons as if it were a sports match.
Okay.
And the contrast with the events happening on screen in Animal Crossing and the sheer excitement that announcers give to soccer matches, the blending of the two becomes extremely entertaining. I don't even speak Japanese, and I was in it. I was freaking in it. The character is literally just walking around and fishing. And like, I could just imagine he's going in. He's going to the fish. Oh my God. I think the pole is starting to shake. It's starting to shake. He's got it. Woo! And it's just this whole thing. And then just the character looking at the screen like, here's a fish. It's so freaking entertaining the way he did it. He hypes up chopping a tree. He hypes up walking from the cabins. And I already mentioned about the fishing. But like, I seriously watched it like 3 times, and he did more than one. Like, just the sheer excitement and just seeing what was on screen. I bowled. I laughed so hard. So if you're looking for a pick-me-up, 4 minutes or so out of your day, he did a couple of them. I highly recommend looking up, I can't say his name, Kasuki or whatever, and watch him sports commentate Animal Crossing, and it'll make your day.
I'm gonna, since you brought this up, you made me remember something that I have become obsessed with here lately, and I have been watching it a lot more, and I would recommend anybody who likes Monster Hunter, but also likes glitches, go check this out. I think the YouTube name, I hope I'm getting it right, is Team Darkside. They do this series called Monster Hunter World Gone Wrong, and they compile like these 10-minute videos of people playing the game where some glitch happens, and they'll do sound effects, or they'll do, cut the way they edit it together. Yeah. It's just hilarious because you'll see I'm trying to remember this one, like you see this guy fighting, and then all of a sudden everything stops, and the guy's like, huh? And he's like, what are you doing? He's like, I just saw something, and they cut back, to this clip, and you see one of these monsters floating on air, and then they put music over it going, hallelujah, hallelujah. So
I
just
love
little
those.
things like that.
Yeah.
So I recommend that. Go check that out too. Team Darkside, Monster Hunter World Gone Wrong. It's a great
Beautiful.
series.
There you go. Some new content for you to consume. God, we've had some fun stuff, I tell you what.
Sure.
If one thing you could say, the memes and everything are giving me life right now, and I thank you guys for it. For those of you who are doing this for me, I appreciate it. So, are you ready to play Name That Game?
Yes, indeed. And stop.
All right. I found 3 for you this week as well. Let's see. I'm I'm always jealous because you can do like all these little voices and stuff and make these entertaining. So let's see. I feel like I just have announcer voice and then like Valley Girl time. All right. So this game is a fascinating puzzle game in which you have to pave the way for little balls from one point to another. But everything is not so easy as it may seem from first sight. You have to take into account probable physics, which acts on the balls, different obstacles, portals, accelerators, and many other things. At the start of the level, the timer starts, an indicator of successful passing, which will stop when minimum 10 balls achieve the endpoint. The passing of each level is not bound up with only one scenario or the way. I don't know. The passing of each level is not bound up with only one scenario or the way. Okay, that's what it said. I copy paste, so that's what it said. The only condition of passing is achievement the endpoint by at least 10 balls, after which the level will be passed. Best time of adventure of each level is written, summarized, and displayed in main menu. You can see minimum time of passage, all levels, and opportunities to improve the figure.
Huh?
It looks like a puzzle game with moving the balls around. I feel like me saying that made more sense than their whole description. So move ball from A to B.
Their description sounds like a puzzle.
Like it just kept going in a circle. And like I just picked the second one in this case because I'm like, if I add that one too, like that's even more confusion. But ball puzzle game, I think would have been the simpler way to say everything they just said.
It's a ball puzzle game. You play with ball, you put ball in hole.
Puzzle. Yay!
Puzzle. Yay. Okay.
I don't know. That's my commercial. But is this game A, nice way, B, fun time, C, 10 balls, D, start, stop? Because, you start with the ball at one end and you stop it at the other.
Consider
It kind
how
of looked
they
like
speak.
a labyrinth, if that helps you. You know?
Yeah, consider how they speak. They play game with ball and puzzle. For some reason, I feel like fun time sound correct.
Fun time sounds correct. And the answer is nice way. A.
Nice way. I thought it's one or other, so I picked wrong one.
I tried to stick with that cadence, nice way, fun time, 10 ball, start, stop. I don't know.
It was one or other. I know which is A, B. I fixed
We don't
one.
know. We
Fun
don't
time sounds more fun to me, so
That's true.
I
Fun
try.
is a little bit more eye-catching than nice way.
that's all right.
We know
Fun
that.
time.
We know they. So this one, in this game, you take on the role of various individuals on their first blind date. Your goal is to woo them or not. It's entirely up to you. Tread carefully, though, or your date may leave to go to the bathroom and never return. Each episode will introduce you to new characters and their own branching dialogue decisions with moral choices and a multitude of unique endings. Help Trevor overcome his need to be a pickup artist and make him open up to show Samantha who he really is. Or she might just go home with her mustached hipster friend and leave Trevor dutching his cold pumpkin's autumn explosion to himself. Or get Anthony past the obnoxious bouncer and help him moonwalk his way across the dance floor and into Kim's heart. Or risking making a fool of yourself on the dance floor. Do you have what it takes to do the bow chicka bow wow? Is this game A, prime and bedtime. B, flicks and chill. C, take out and make out. Or D, fap and nap.
Oh, wow.
I kind of want to play it, I'm not going to lie, but I'll let you guess first. That's where
Read them one more time. Because, my God.
A is, prime and bedtime. B, flicks and chill. C, take out and make out. Or D, fap and nap. Because you could fail, I guess, you know.
I feel like D sounds like a title that you would have seen and said, what the shit? And had to look it up.
See, I don't know.
So I'm going to go with D.
Gonna go with D, fap and nap. And the answer is B, flicks and chill.
Damn it. They just seem too on the nose.
I'm proud of fap and nap, though. This tells you where my head was at 1 a.m, all right? I'm like, oh, but they fail. But you're not wrong. If I would have saw fap and nap, I totally would have been like, what?
Yeah.
I have to stop.
Just flicks and chill sounds so uncreative. All right.
I feel like some of these would have been way better for that, but I kind of want to play it. I think it was on sale for like 72 cents. I might just fucking do it and let you guys know next week. Sorry about it, but... And then this one was just for my own entertainment, because if you get this, congratulations. Otherwise, it was just the most ridiculous little description of anything in the world, and so I added it in. So this is not fair. I'm going to put that out there now. But
okay.
A word of caution to disclaim. It's more a poetry than a game. The story goes the way you pull it. A bullet hell without bullets. What would I call it for my part? A piece of something, I hope, of art. Is this game? Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I just wanted to throw this one under the bus a little bit because I need a little bit more to go on. Is this game A, the game is very meta. B, poetry and coffee table stories. C, the game we all have to play. Or D, subjective.
If it's D, I'm going to be like, what the shit? Because...
That's fair. The others are so...
Yeah.
I know, this isn't fair. This isn't fair.
A.
I know the game is very meta. No, the answer is C, the game we all have to play. I kept looking for more description. I did. I really did. I'm like, this has got... Because it's one of those where you see it on Metacritic. Go follow up on Steam, right? Let's go a little bit. No. So I just wanted to throw the game we all have to play. What? What is it? What are we doing?
Okay. Well, I failed completely this week, so...
You know what, though? The second one was probably the only one I'm really proud of. The other two...
You did good. Mm-hmm.
That one, I was just like, ooh. I saw the name, and I'm like, I bet I could come up with... I even had, like, Hulu and Hang. Like, I was coming up with all this shit, and I'm like, no, he's going to start to be on to me if I get too into it. But yeah, I would play it. My God, I would fucking play it. It looked so awful, but it looked like one of those that it's like a train wreck. Oh, no, I have to keep going. This is good. This is good stuff. But that's it for the news and everything this week. Can move on to the headliner, unless I know sometimes you have been finding interesting tidbits that I forget to mention throughout.
No,
if there
I
was
think
one that you had thought of.
I've got everything covered this week. It's all good.
Yeah. This week was pretty much it's going to be delayed or people be doing the wrong things, yo. So be kind to each other. Stop it. But yeah, I had the absolute pleasure of getting a review copy from Wales Interactive for their newest interactive movie called The Complex. So again, huge shout out to Wales. Thank you so much. It really pleased me that you thought of me to be able to do this. So we'll just dive right in. Again, we know me, FMVs, those two things go together like peanut butter and jelly, right? The Complex is the newest interactive movie from Wales Interactive and Good Gate Media developing team. It's a sci-fi action thriller, and it takes you on the story of Dr. Amy Tennant, head of biotechnology of Kensington Complex. The complex is home to Security Lab Alpha, where many major scientific advancements are being made. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start at the beginning here.
All right.
So Amy's latest development is nanocells, which has the ability to regrow bone and regenerate blood at a faster rate once injected. Her tech is being very highly sought after, as you can imagine. Lynn Renee Maxey created this world that the race to land on Mars is happening. And sorry, he'll be British. I don't know if anybody was sad about that tidbit. I know America, we always want to be first on everything, right? But he's got to be British. And also, what better way to treat possible wounds in space than using a tiny vial of nanocells? I mean, as she put it, you can't exactly put a hospital on a 10-ton Land Rover, you know? You can't move that thing around. So why not nanocells to help fix little boo-boos that happen in space? So, of course, this idea is still in early phases. And as she is making her pitch to the execs and donors of Kensington Labs to get funding to start possible human trials with nanocells, the meeting is cut short. Natalie Kensington, the owner of Kensington Labs, requires Amy to report to the complex right away. While Amy is giving the pitch of her life, or not. I mean, I don't know how you're playing your game. You could have screwed it all up for all I know. News broke of a blood-vomiting woman on the subway.
Yeah.
Why are we supposed to care? Why does Amy care? She's head of biotechnology. I'm not going to tell you because that's a spoiler. And I like to keep my reviews spoiler-free. So while the public, of course, is running around speculating that there's bioterrorism happening, Natalie knows this is a time she needs Amy's expertise for testing of this virus. Why does she need Amy specifically? I guess you're just going to have to play to find out. Mm-hmm. But the interactive movie would not be interactive without choices, right? So at certain points of the story, it presents you with said choices, or letting the timer run out and choosing nothing at all. You could do that as well if you'd like. And just trust me when I say they don't make these choices easy on you, okay? So I'll just give an example for the first stuff in the very beginning of the game. So very spoiler free. So they hit you right away in the first few minutes. Amy is in Kindar, and she's trying to treat patients who are just became victims of bioterrorism from their own state, along with a coworker of hers, Reese. And the scene plays out. It's on an on-location medical tent. Doctors, they're all in full hazmat suits. They're trying to treat the two patients who lay sick there before them, and they're both hooked up to oxygen. It's not looking good. You have a young man in his late teens to early 20s on your right who just happened to be outside kicking around a soccer ball. His only crime, football. This is coming out of Britain. I need to be correct there. And on your left is a young woman who's been hardened from the war around her, and she wants to fight for her life. And again, both are extremely dire situations. They both need the medicine. Amy sends Reese for medical supplies so she can treat her patients. And as Reese returns, everything was destroyed except for one vial. Now, do you save Dima on the left or do you save Talo on the right? And both choices will affect something for you later on. So what do you do? Mm-hmm. And you don't got that long to decide if you're playing it not pause. So you better figure it out rather quick. So at this point, I just made my choice and moved on with the story. And trust me, I left out a detail that's going to make it way harder for you to make that decision. Because again, I don't want to steal that feeling from you when you get that bomb of why this decision is going to weigh pretty heavily on you.
Okay.
So the choices are fairly plentiful. Some impact the story quite a bit. Some, I think, are just sprinkled in for the illusion of more choice. Where the result just ends up being the same regardless, because I did play through it a couple times. I only found like one or two real examples of this, but I ended up unlocking more video. So to me, it was still a win-win. It does have a small tutorial, very little. A little message will pop up in the bottom right that tells you that to try to guide you on Amy's demeanor, how she's reacting in the situation to maybe make the choice of how you would like to respond once you were given the choices. And that's it. And then pick choices and have fun playing along with it. So that's the only tutorial you get. And really with things like this, you don't need that much of a tutorial. It's pretty self-explanatory. But this all, of course, pays off in the end when you can see all your stats. I love looking at things like this with branching storyline games where there's a lot of different options that can happen to give you a breakdown of what ending you got, or maybe how well everyone in your life made it along throughout your playthrough. It just really kind of depends on how you played. Did you do good things? Did you do stupid things? Did you want to be dishonest? Do you want to be honest? Do you want to play it intelligently or dumb? Like, there's quite a few little characteristics they have as a breakdown for you and a percentage of how you played each, which means there's a lot that can happen by just changing one line of dialogue. One feature they add, and I love when games do this, is a skip cutscene feature. This makes future playthroughs so nice. You can just hit tab if you're playing it on PC, and if you've seen that scene before, it's just going to skip right through it to whenever the choice was made, and it'll stop you on that choice, and then you can make hopefully a different one if you're wanting to unlock all videos and move on. So you don't have to just sit there through all of it. I ended up getting sucked back into the story and watching it again anyway, but that option is there for you if you want to do a quick playthrough and just see different endings. So how many times did I play? We're not going to talk about that. All right. That's rude. I don't need to out myself on how obsessed I am with things like this. All right. But yes, it was a nice quick play. First experience for me was 90 minutes. Once I went back, I saw another 30 minutes of new information that I didn't even get the first time around. Like, holy crap, guys. The new information, I have no words. Wow. I couldn't even tell you. It's just like such a huge revelation. So I think it's fairly beefy for an interactive movie. 90 minutes is pretty standard for any kind of movie. And then now you're adding along all of this other stuff that you can unlock along the way. There's 9 different endings, 196 videos to unlock. And depending on your choices the first time around, obviously could depend on how long each playthrough is. Yeah, if you decide, you can make it go really well, or it could go really, really bad. Like, oh my God, it was so bad. I'm still floored. Okay, anyway, like this one scene that opened up, I still can't even believe it had any. It's so deceiving, you guys. You just gotta see what I'm talking about. And I can safely report I found no bugs. I did get this game early copy. I got it pretty early, actually, too, a couple weeks ago. So everything played as intended. I never found any problems. So, I mean, this one was kind of hard to go into great detail on because it is so story heavy, and I hate doing spoilers. I really do. I really think that it's just garbage when you let all of that stuff out of the way. And I tried to be careful because there are certain tiny details that could affect storyline later on that could spoil it for you. Right. So my overall with the game, I mean, I know I'm a fangirl for these types of games, so I understand that I'm coming from a different perspective where I probably had my hopes already fairly high, and I already know that Wales Interactive does amazing stuff. But I can say I tried to find something bad, to try to be an impartial reviewer, and I couldn't. I'm sorry, I couldn't. The acting was really, really good. The story was fast, quick, and amazing. It kept me watching it. Obviously, I kept getting roped back in even when I played it again to try to achieve another ending. The writing, the music. Sorry. I'm sorry. I couldn't find anything bad.
Don't apologize.
I couldn't. I tried. But I mean, to stay impartial, if you hate choose your own adventure games, FMVs, interactive movies, then yeah, you're not going to like it. But I'm sure you still like movies, in which case you'd probably still enjoy the story. And I don't know. You probably could find me streaming it somewhere. Stupid.
Maybe.
Little plug, maybe. Be that person right now. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I thought it was really good. I'm a fan of the of Letterkenny, which if you ever watch it, Steven, for crying out loud.
I will.
Because it has the lead actress from that in this as well. And even a Twitch streamer has a small part in there, which I didn't know she was out of UK. I've never heard of her before this, but I thought that was really cool. It's not like a part throughout the whole game, but still that's been my bucket list item forever, man. Either to be in one or make an FMV. Hi, saying got a resume.
Got a big fan here.
Put that out there. When we're allowed to travel again, I can go there. So yeah, honestly, I say do it. It's supposed to release on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox, I believe. I didn't see about the Switch. It might be though. And it's today. Came out today. So go. I recommend it. I really do. I really, really do. Or if you find someone with the Let's Play of it, go check it out if you're not the type to want to play them. They do have a pause feature for streamers, which is nice. So if you want to just let your viewers be the ones to make all the decisions, you can pause it. It's a double-edged sword with pausing it, though, because I feel like it takes away the urgency of the situation because, part of it was the panic having to make the snap judgment real fast and then hoping you made the right one. But that's still really cool because I know with delays and stuff like that, it's almost impossible to get chat to interact before a timer would run out, and then you just are forced into whatever the game moves through. But yeah, it's great. I think it's great. I think you'd love it.
That is a pretty interesting feature because that's developers thinking of the people who could be playing their game and saying, you know what, this would be fun with a group, even if you're doing it on your couch. Like if you're playing it at home with a group, you could pause it and be like, all right, guys, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah.
And that makes it more fun. That changes the dynamic of the game for a group.
And out of Wales, they've never had a bad one either. We did that with Late Shift. Like the Hubs and I was just the one who would make the decisions, but we just sat there and watched it like a movie and it's great. So, so far, if Wales is putting it out, I'm on board. They haven't disappointed me yet. And, yeah. So again, thank you guys for the early copy. It really made my month. It was really cool to get to see it, and keep it up, man. You're creating some good stuff here, and I know we've got a few more coming up here soon out of Wales. So keep your eye out on them. But it's fun. It's a good story. It's very, very, you could tell the budgets are getting really good for these too, because this was just a straight up movie.
Sure.
They had the full on sets and costumes and HD and it looked really sharp. So FMVs are starting to get good, man. I'm telling you, this revival's been making Lace a happy gal.
Do you think
in heaven?
If they have a resurgence, obviously I feel like they have a lot more than they have been in a long time. But do you feel like if they get really, really popular that we'll start seeing them on other platforms like Netflix, since they've been dabbling, dipping their toe in there? I think so,
honestly, because I know Netflix did one with Black Mirror, right? Or Bandersnatch was the name of it.
Bandersnatch, yeah.
Yeah, but in that umbrella of shows. Because if you think about it, with the interactive movie portion of it, that would be probably the easiest to recreate. Sure. As when you're watching, most people probably are watching Netflix on a console of some sort. I imagine there's other ways to watch it. I don't know. That's just how I watch mine. But I've also seen YouTubers, for example, Markiplier has been very creative in doing something like this as well. He just got done doing, not just over the last couple of months, which I recommend, The Heist, I believe is what it was called. And he's integrated it in where you're watching that first scene, and then when it comes time for you to make a choice, you know how they have the different boxes for the different videos that'll pop up like, hey, watch my next one. Well, in this case, it's actually making your choice. So you'll hit that one, and then the story goes along. So we're starting to see how this, the interactive movie Choose Your Own Adventure, is probably the most accessible for somebody to try to recreate on their own. Now, once you end up with budgets and things like that, that's a whole other story. But yeah, I think so. Because, well, we've already seen PlayStation try their hand at it too with Erica. They tried their own interactive movie, which I thought it was still fine. I just think the controls for it were garbage. That was just my only complaint with it. I didn't, I appreciate people trying to use the touchpad for something, but I just didn't like how they implemented it. It made kind of choosing decisions too hard. And then sometimes you'd accidentally choose the wrong thing, So I just wish they would have let us use the joystick and choose between options, but it is what it is. Yeah,
Interesting.
I really do.
Mm-hmm. I'll have to check this out.
They're not all going to be good.
Yeah.
I think from the bigger teams that we're seeing, they've been pretty good. And I mean, you're getting amazing writers. I mean, honestly, like even with Late Shift, I was blown away. Like for a game like that to be so fast. I mean, the acting is phenomenal. The stories are getting, really, really good. Like they're putting in like a big budget production now, and it's really cool.
The only issue that I had with the Late Shift was I felt like their sound design was a little off because there were elements to the game that were extremely loud, and then other elements that got so quiet. So that was my only beef with that game.
They have addressed it because like that when I first played it, that was my beef too. I was like, there was no slider for music. It was on. That was just it. And yes, when the action came up, the music was so much louder than the dialogue. I had to play with captions or I would have never understood what was happening. But they have since addressed that. Now there is a slider for the music and everything like that. But yes. So if you want to go back now and totally do it. I think I've still been searching for one freaking video on that game. I cannot figure out where I need to choose something different. Like every time I finish at the end, it's still staring at me 13 out of 14. I'm like, God damn it, where is it? It's just like, what?
I feel like I did. I'm pretty sure I platinumed that on PlayStation.
I've been trying to not look it up. I guess I'm just going to have to. Because like even with the complex, I'm waiting to do a couple of playthroughs with, on my stream. So I can at least unlock something new for me to discover on stream with everybody else. So I still have quite a few endings actually on that one and stuff.
Yeah.
But I also did another review of it, a video one. So if you're wanting a shortened version of the review and actually looking at the stuff I said, that'll be on my YouTube today as well. You'll see. I don't want to spoil too much of it. It's hard. It's hard because I don't want to spoil it. But I really liked it. I want to keep talking about it, but I also don't want to send spoilers out to everybody. I just think you'll really like it. They did good stuff. They did good stuff there. It's a lot of fun.
Keep that in mind, people. If you love FMVs, this is a person who adores them. So you cannot go wrong with this type of review.
I really do. That's why I always try to preface it with that. Like, I understand I am a fangirl of FMVs. And trust me, I've not loved every FMV I've ever played. I've not.
And that's good. That's good.
But I do tend to gravitate towards those more. And I honestly, if you like FMVs, just freaking follow Whales on Twitter and all the things. Because so far, if they've published it, I go get it. They've had so many right now. Dr. Decker and Shapeshifting Detective and The Late Shift and Maid of Skur and this one. And there's more coming up. And check them out. Thank you, Whales. Keep my developers busy and happy, please. I mean, I'm enjoying it.
Wonderful.
I know I want to keep going, but I'm not. So thank you guys for listening. That was our show. You can hit us up sometime on Twitter at Super Mega Crash. You can send us an email at supermegacrash@gmail.com. Seriously, email us. Let us know. Do you like the complex? Are you an indie dev? Do you like the Epic Publishing deal? Let us know, man. Find us on Instagram. You can view the weekly icon art that Steven puts all my time and love into. You can support the show by liking and leaving reviews on your preferred platform and even going to patreon.com/Pencil and Paper Productions. You can tell your friends to find us on Pencil. I'm sorry, I need to rewrite that. Okay. I remembered it and then rewrote it differently on this one. Super Mega Crash Brothers, you can find on Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and even youtube.com/Pencil and Paper Productions. Thank you for listening. I am Lacey Finley.
I am Stephen White.
And you can join us again next time, Super Mega Crash siblings. But until then,
game on.
This has been a Pencil and Paper Podcast Network production.